problem here for the Lakers. I mean, Coleman only taking 3 shots. Gasol had a good first half, but Lamar Odom 2 of 8, and Ginobili was 2 of 7. But it was Parker and Duncan who were terrific. They combined for 28 points on 13 of 23, so 33-17. And I've always said when your 3 best scorers get their numbers in the playoffs, usually good things happen for you.
Let's check out tonight's Dodge game summary. As I mentioned, Spurs at 50%. They hit 23 of 46, including 3 from three-point land. The Lakers 18 of 41, so they're right around 44%. And obviously, Lakers not going to the line as frequently as they did against the Jazz in that second-round series. Third quarter is underway. A third quarter where the Spurs have had all kinds of problems in the series against the Hornets. That is until Game 7. Bowen opens up by drilling it.
Now make the extra pass. That's what the Spurs do. And I talked to Tony Parker at half, and I said, Tony, what'd you talk about? And he said, our horrible third quarters in New Orleans on the road. And he said, even when we won the other night, we started out missing 9 of our first 11 shots.
They did outscore the Hornets in that Game 7, 20-12. But look at these numbers. Spurs outscored 109-66 in the third quarter overall in the 4 games in New Orleans.
Yeah, the only thing that saved them was their defense, because the Hornets missed 12 of their first 14 shots the other night in the third quarter.
Odom not able to hit. Could not finish. Oh, what a catch by Alberto on that bullet thrown by Ginobili. They're whipping the ball around. Here's Ginobili. Crowd wanted to travel.
He really cups that ball under his arm, almost like a running back, so you can't strip that ball loose. Here's Kobe. Looks like he's going to try to go to work here now and get his offensive game on track.
Bryant now 1 of 4 from the field. And Ginobili in a collision with Fisher. Foul on Fisher. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Marv, the stat that obviously stood out to us was 1 for 3 for Kobe from the field, but the coaching staff of the Lakers said we weren't that worried about how many field goal attempts he took. We just not think Kobe was as aggressive as he should be. They told him to be far more aggressive here in the second half at both ends of the court and to pick up the defense as well.
All right, Craig, here is Duncan, and goes less effectively. That's the Tim Duncan that we are accustomed to seeing, and have not seen that much. That bank shot from the angle during the playoffs. Biggest lead of the night for San Antonio. Gasol with the step, and he cannot finish. Was looking for a foul call. I mentioned the foul on Fisher a moment ago, his 3rd of the game, and you brought up the point when Fisher was the guy who gave the foul in the final seconds of the second quarter. You did not like that foul because it could put him in trouble down the road.
And now all of a sudden he picks up his 4th. Now who are you going to bring to guard Tony Parker? I mean, Jordan Farmar had a nice first half, but you want Derek Fisher on the floor against Parker.
Gasol coming over to help on Parker. Shot clock to 4. Alberto, yes, and the foul.
Well, the Lakers are being very aggressive on all the screen rolls, and the Spurs recognize this, and they're spreading them out. They're getting them caught in rotation. Now watch what happens. Gasol normally on Duncan, so the rotation, Romanovich comes up, and now you just find that little pinpoint pass underneath to Alberto. So one of the things about the San Antonio Spurs big men is they can pass the basketball. And if I'm the Lakers right now, my biggest concern is energy. And that's what Kobe talked to me about halftime. I said, what is the biggest key for you? He says, we have got to pick our energy level up. I have not seen that here in the first part of this third quarter.
Well, Phil Jackson said that was his main concern. It appeared that the energy was fine in the first half, at least earlier in the first half. But they don't have the edge that Phil was looking for.
And really the energy, Marv, was the bench more than the starters. They're the ones who brought this crowd to life.
Spurs have scored the first 6 points of this third quarter. Odom trying to pick up a charge. And a 3-second violation is called.
When you see the Lakers starting to look around right now, this is when Kobe has to really have a feel for what his team needs. They need a burst from him, whether it be scoring or whatever. They need some MVP minutes here real quickly.
Give and go. Bryant had it slapped away and a foul is called. Non-shooting foul. Second on Bowen. Lakers with their starting lineup. Gasol with Odom and Radmanovich. Bryant, Fisher at the guards. Kobe 1 of 5 from the field. Here's Fisher. He was looking to draw a foul call. Does not get the call, and the ball back to the Spurs.
Now this is where Derek Fisher and Kobe Bryant, they're the two guys with the championships. They have the 3 championships together, the three-peat here. They've got to corral their team, get them together. I'm seeing some blank looks on the Lakers right now. They're looking around, wanting the referees to help them.
Duncan will not count. It's a traveling violation.
Mark, one of the things we talked about with the San Antonio Spurs, too, is this a team that will go through droughts. In that first half, they had none. Their biggest stretch going without scoring was only 1 minute and 50 seconds, so they stayed away from those in the first half. Another reason why they're leading.
Odom met by the double. And a steal by Ginobili. Parker played on a switch by Radmanovich. Duncan. Rebounded by Gasol. This crowd trying to get the Lakers going. Another steal. Sloppy start by the Lakers here in the third quarter, and a foul is called as Parker took his shot. It is on Radmanovich, his first.
You know, it's interesting when you think of the San Antonio Spurs defense. Mark, one of the things they don't do is they don't create turnovers and they don't get steals. And here is the replay we see of Parker going to the basket and getting fouled. But ironically, against the Lakers, they had a game this year in the regular season. They had 16 steals against the Lakers. And this is a team that's like in the bottom 20 in the NBA in steals. You see forced turnovers, they're 27th, and points off turnovers are 26th. But for some reason, the Lakers get careless when they play against this team. And right now, the Spurs have lulled them to sleep on the offensive end.
Ime Udoka coming on for Manu Ginobili. Lakers decide to take a timeout with 4 minutes gone by here in the third.
Pull your pants down if you have to so he'll see you. Jump up and down and scream. He's wide open for the 3-0. That's all right. You can't see the whole world all the time, TD. That's why I told him pull his pants down. Maybe you'll notice.
See, Mark, what jumps out to me more than anything about that is you have a great coach and a superstar who have such a level of trust with each other that he's continually coaching him. And he did it in such a way where he made his point and then he had the humor. But, you know, you can't see it all the time. And I think that's the beauty of Greg Popovich, is that little bit sarcastic wit that he has. And his team appreciates that. They want to be coached, and that's how you win championships. Phil Jackson does the same thing with his team. If you can't coach your superstars, you can't win in this league.
And Greg Popovich's San Antonio Spurs have scored the first 8 points of this third quarter. They've opened up a 16-point lead on the Lakers. Bryant. And the Lakers would like to see Kobe go on a tear. He has been very quiet, not looking for the shot early. He's now 2 of 6 from the field.
Mark, they're going to have to do it with their defense. Right now, their defense is getting no stops. And this is where they have to get it and get out in the run. The loose ball foul that time as Gasol got the rebound.
Foul is on Udoka. Try to slap it away from Gasol. So the Lakers in the third quarter, just 1 of 6. They've turned it over twice. And Kobe thus far in the third, just 1 of 3. But that was his first jump shot a moment ago. The previous field goal was a drive. The shot was rejected by Duncan.
Well, you can see what Phil Jackson's done. He's gone to an energy lineup now. Kobe's now down at the small forward. He's gone with Farmer and Vujacic off the bench, trying to create some energy.
Michael Finley is back for the Spurs along with Ime Udoka. Duncan trying to put it between the legs of Gasol. Here comes Bryant. Bowen is back. Vujacic lost it. Parker leads a 3-on-2. Udoka, yes.
That's a very seldom seen run fast break. Normally, if you see the Spurs run a fast break, it's a one-man break either with Parker or Ginobili. How often do you see them come down and pull up and hit a 10-foot jump shot?
That was kind of a slow break.
Exactly right.
Casually done, but well executed. Bryant off the mark. Rebound, Parker. Puts moves on Farmar. And draws the foul.
That's the fast break I'm talking. You normally see with the Spurs, that one-man break where Parker gets in the lane. But, you know, Marv, we look at this blueprint of playing Kobe Bryant and making him a jump shooter and not getting to the line, and that's that one-man break by Tony Parker. That's why I said it's so important that Fisher stays in the game to be able to play against Parker. But Kobe Bryant tonight has taken 7 shots from the floor, 2 of 7. He's not taken a free throw. That's exactly what San Antonio wants.
Now, Bruce Bowen always does a good job on Kobe Bryant, although in this case, it has been Bryant making the decision not to look for shots. But in the last 3 playoff series against the Spurs, Kobe has averaged 26, 32, and 26 points. In the 2003 conference semis, although Kobe averaged 32 points, Bowen held him to 43% from the field. And the Spurs beat the Lakers. Lakers continue to struggle here in the third. We're halfway through. It's an 18-point San Antonio lead.
No double teams. They're going to go right through to Duncan. He's going to read the defense, either get a little jump hook here in the lane, which he gets. They cannot handle him one-on-one. So Phil Jackson is going to have to make a decision here. He's going to go get the ball out of Parker's hands. We're starting to hear a few boos here from this Laker fans here, down 20.
And Tim Duncan now has 20 points. Foul's called. It is on Bowen.
Tim Duncan just taking his time in the post, reading to see if they're double teams. And one of the things that big men have to really learn when they come in the NBA is handling double teams. Normally you see big guys, the Tim Duncans, the Shaquille O'Neals, the Elijah Wans, the Patrick Ewings, be high turnover guys when they come into the league initially because they're not used to the speed and quickness and size of double teams. And Marv, as they get better and they see them more often, they become much more adept at handling those things.
Owen committing his 3rd foul, so he takes a seat. Ginobili is back. Bryant, yes. Kobe now being played by Udoka. The Spurs lead 65-47. Ginobili trying to get it back to Duncan. Here comes Vujacic. Bryant for Gasol.
You're going to see Greg Popovich take a timeout. He's not going to let this team get any kind of runs, and I think he's going to let Ginobili let him have it here. Tried to throw a pass that had no way could get through there. And, you know, one of the things you have to do with Ginobili is sort of live and die with some of those plays, but not with an 18-point lead on the road in Game 1 of the conference finals.
And Mono got the Popovich stare as he headed back to the bench. All right, Doug, let's take a look at tonight's Yellow Book, Future Faces, and after last night's NBA Draft Lottery, here's a tale of the tape on the probable top 2 picks.
Well, you know, depending obviously on the way John Paxson wants to go, do you want a young point guard who can push the tempo of the game and create all kinds of opportunities, or do you want an incredibly skilled big guy who can score in that low post, who can step out and shoot the ball? So that's one of those things where if you lose a coin flip, you say, whoever I get, I'm okay with. You know, that's some pretty good choice there.
And whoever loses the coin flip will say he's the guy we wanted.
Exactly. That's the guy we hoped he would take the other guy.
All right, go to TNT Overtime. All access on 8NBA.com for live coverage presented by Yellow Book.
The Spurs have gone back to that small lineup. You've seen a lot of small ball here tonight, and what's happened is the Lakers have matched that. So Finley actually playing as a power forward right now, matched up against Radmanovic.
Walker and Ginobili in the backcourt. Duncan, Finley, and Udoka up front. Just under 5 left in the third. Ginobili blocked from behind. Shot clock to 4. Duncan. And a foul is called on Udoka. So the ball back to the Lakers. They now have a backcourt of Farmar and Vujacic. Bryant is up front with Gasol and Radmanovic. Radmanovic got off to the quick start, has not attempted a shot in the third quarter. Bryant showing signs, hits the three.
See, Kobe Bryant now sees Udoka on him, not Bruce Bowen. Well, let's see how long Popovich stays with that. If Kobe continues to make shots on Udoka, if he comes back with Bowen.
Gasol able to get down low, racing back off the switch to meet up with Duncan. Lakers now down by 13. Here's Bryant, got the step, and is fouled. That's number 4 on Udoka.
Well, Kobe understanding now. I talked about becoming the MVP in this stretch. He steps back and knocks a 3 down on Udoka. Here's the isolation. They don't want to help on Kobe, and the foul from Udoka. So this will be Kobe Bryant's first 2 free throws of the game. Starting to heat it up now with 9 points. And if I'm Greg Popovich, I'm starting to get a little nervous here. Still 4 minutes to go in this third period. And the Lakers on a little bit of a push here.
Well, this July, the #1 cable series of all time returns to TNT. Get a confession with Kira Sedgwick as the closer. Watch new episodes beginning this July on TNT. We know drama.
So Udoka is strong, but he doesn't have the quickness to play against Kobe Bryant. So what's happened now, he's gone out of the game. Brent Berry's come into the game, gives him another 3-point shooter, but more importantly, you're going to see Manu Ginobili now play against Kobe Bryant to try to slow him down.
Spurs have led by as many as 20. They've led all the way. Lakers now in the midst of a 9-0 run. All 9 points either scored or assisted on by Kobe. Parker for Duncan. Rebound by Radmanovic. Duncan saying, where's the foul? Bryant, played by Ginobili, goes behind the back and shoots over Ginobili for 3. It's back tap to Vujacic.
But Kobe wants that ball down. He wants to go to work. You can see he's upset with Vujacic taking that shot, but it goes in.
Bryant was trying to post. Vujacic saw the opportunity, knocks down a 3. The lead is down at 8. 12 unanswered by the Lakers. Finley for 3. Bryant with the rebound.
One of those San Antonio droughts that I talked about, Marv.
And the Lakers taking advantage. Here is Bryant. Rebound Duncan, and Bryant felt he was fouled. And now away from the ball, Dan Crawford is calling a foul on the Lakers. Foul on Gasol.
Kobe taking the ball to the basket strong. You see sort of a one-man zone there by Duncan. Kobe thought he was fouled, and Gasol falls into Duncan and Ginobili. It looked like Ginobili pushed Gasol into Tim Duncan, but Gasol will be the one to get caught with a foul.
Both teams are over the foul limit, so Duncan to the line. He's hit 2 of 3, coming off a 6 for 6 at the line in Game 7 against the Hornets.
And this one you have to step up and make your free throws. When that other team is making a run, you've got to step up and knock them down. Otherwise, the momentum continues to work against you.
During the regular season, Duncan 73%, much improved from previous years. Dropped back down despite the 6-for-6 the other night, down to 65 during the playoffs, and misses both.
I've never seen a good free throw shooter pause that long and hold the ball. You break your rhythm instead of taking that bounce and going right into your shot. Gives you an awful lot to think about.
Spurs have not scored in nearly 3.5 minutes. Bryant for the lob, and Gasol able to get to it. What a play by Paul Gasol, able to twist his way to make contact with the alley-oop.
And they've done it with their defense. Marv, we talked about it. This is a team, the Lakers, when they start scoring, it energizes them on the defensive end. And when Phil Jackson went to Farmar and Vujacic and slid Kobe down to the small forward position, the whole fabric of this team has changed.
A 14-0 run by the Lakers. And this after the good start to this third quarter by the Spurs. And this a Laker team that has done the job at home in the playoffs, 6-0 here in L.A. They have not lost a game at Staples since back on March the 28th. And overall, going back to the regular season, Lakers have won 16 of their last 19 at home.
Would it be amazing, as badly as the Lakers were playing, Marv, you said they were down 20? They were down 20 points? That they would be leading at the end of the third quarter? I mean, there's 2:20 to go. I mean, they could actually be leading this game after being down by 20 midway through the third period. What an incredible turnaround here. The Spurs are bleeding for a basket. It's an offensive foul here on Ginobili.
Ginobili and Vujacic coming together. Ginobili throwing an elbow and is called for the foul, so the ball back to the Lakers.
You know, Ginobili's struggling tonight, Marv. I thought he looked like he was a little bit tired, and he's playing like that tonight. Remember, this is a guy who averaged 31 minutes a game during the regular season. He played 42 minutes the other night. Got called with a foul there.
Romanovich trying to find Gasol with the lob.
I think Vlade needs to leave those passes to Kobe.
Ginobili for three. Yes.
Big shot. And that was a bad pass that Michael Finley threw him. You saw Michael Finley say, my fault. Very seldom do you ever see a guy get a pass around his ankles, be able to pull that shot up and knock it in.
Spurs with a 68-59 lead. Bryant for Gasol.
Running that little two-man action. And what's happened is Duncan is stepping up to play Kobe, which leaves a guard on Gasol, and he's just tossing the ball at the basket. We've seen about 3 of those plays in this quarter.
Lakers stay with single coverage on Duncan, who's able to bank it home over Gasol.
You know, he heard you and I talking before the game. You said you hadn't seen that much all year. We've seen it twice tonight.
That has been such an effective shot for Tim Duncan over the years. Bryant behind the back, pulls it back. Oh, what a move. Going right at Ginobili.
Guard that. Oh, my.
Spurs up by 7. Bryant with 13 points, 11 of the 13 here in the third. Final minute of the quarter. Parker, oh, beautiful fake. Tony Parker driving into the paint with the ball fake. He now has 18, and the Spurs have a 9-point lead. Bryant for Gasol, and he scores.
Well, those guys have fit together so well. Gasol knows exactly where to be, and Kobe Bryant right now is playing like that MVP. He's either getting his shot or an easy shot for one of his teammates.
Gasol with 19 points. And they complemented each other extremely well right from the start. Gasol fitting into the triangle defense, offense, I should say, of the Lakers. Final seconds of the third. Here's Farmar from center court. The Lakers in the third quarter outscoring the Spurs 20-7. They were down by as many as 20. Kobe Bryant, 11 of his 13 in the third.
interesting, Marv. Normally, Kobe Bryant would rest for the first 4 minutes of this period. Kobe Bryant is on the floor. So Phil Jackson knows he cannot take Kobe out of the game now with his team down 7. And Kobe really has managed his minutes early. I don't see fatigue being a factor.
Fourth quarter underway. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager from Staples in Los Angeles. Bowen is back in, stepped away from Bryant, who calls for time to save the possession. Took a 20-second timeout. Well, he knew he was in trouble on the floor with the ball, so 17 seconds in, it's a Laker timeout. We'll be right back.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs hanging on to a 7-point lead. Kobe Bryant, little one-on-one move here with Bruce Bowen. And what he's going to try to do, he's going to try to feel him with his body. And Bowen recognizes that and watches he just steps back so Kobe cannot feel him and then spin off of him like he likes to do. And Kobe looked over the river. He said he sort of pulled me backwards. But interesting lineup here now with Fisher on the floor. Normally that would be Farmar. So you see Phil going back to some starters here.
Here's Bryant for 3, way off. A 14-0 spurt during the third quarter, turning this game around for the Lakers. They finished the quarter with a 20-7 run. So down by as many as 20, it's now a 7-point game. Bryant behind the back. Kuryaev did not expect it. Recovered by Vujacic. Walton just checked back in. Finding Kuryaev. Rebounded by Duncan. Oh, the steal by Bryant. And he scored.
Well, remember that play right there, Marv. A chance for the Spurs maybe to go up 9. Kobe with a steal pushed it down to 5. Those are momentum kind of plays.
Bryant in the first half, only 2 points, 5 assists. He now has 13 points in the second half with 4 assists. And the Spurs continue to have their problems. Looked like Vujacic went down and he's hurt. And now back on his feet. He's shaken up.
He's holding that right shoulder.
Fisher. And back comes Barry, hounded by Vujacic. Parker and Barry in the backcourt. Parker. Walton called for the foul on Duncan.
That's a good foul, though. Remember, Tim Duncan has just walked up and missed a couple. You do not want to give him a layup at this point in time as you're trying to continue to climb and play in from behind. But Marv, we're seeing one of those classic San Antonio Spurs situations now where they go through long periods of time where they struggle to score. If the Lakers will stay patient, they're going to be okay in this game. What they can't start doing is taking quick shots.
Duncan is 2 of 5. At the line, he's missed his last 3. National coverage of the NBA playoffs continues tomorrow on ESPN. Game 2 between the Pistons and the Celtics. Friday, right here on TNT, we'll have Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Coverage starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And then Saturday on ABC, Game 3 of the Celtics and the Pistons. So Duncan, after missing 3 in a row, hits 2 of 2. And the Spurs now lead 74-67. Bryant getting the pick from Kuryaev. Trying to get it back to him and broken up. Last touch by Bowen.
You see again defensively what San Antonio is doing is they're forcing Kobe into Duncan. And when Gasol is in the game, he can just lob it up to him for the score. He did not do that time with Kuryaev.
Here's Bryant. Kobe now 7 of 15. He has 17 points.
He's Jock Bond in the game right now. Derek Fisher can really gamble.
Ginobili for 3. Rebounded by Bryant. Vaughn has come on to provide a rest for Parker. Kuryaev. And the Spurs do not mind seeing Rony Kuryaev take those mid-range jump shots.
You were reading my coaching mind on that.
Here's the double.
So they're doubling now in the fourth period, trying to get it out of his hands. What a tough shot.
Oh, that'll count. And the foul. 26 points for Duncan.
Well, the patience of Tim Duncan. He got the double team, then he kicked it out and reposted and shoots a little floater over Turioff. And what you've seen with Phil Jackson here is a lot what he used to do with Chicago. Not double team early in the game, and then come fourth quarter, go hard at their post player. And we've seen that. Duncan, great patience, though, passing out of the double team and then reposting.
Duncan not able to complete the three-point play. The Spurs now lead 76-69. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Fisher played by Vaughn. There is Fisher. That's his first field goal. He had missed his previous 6 shots.
Well, Jacques Vaughn is in the game to try to get up the floor and pressure Fisher to try to get them out of the rhythm of their offense.
Duncan, he was hacked by Turioff.
That's that little reach in we talked about. Duncan did that to Turioff, remember, in the first half. This time Turioff reaches in.
Third team foul committed by the Lakers. There's Derek Fisher getting on the score sheet. Little flip shot. We'll be back to Staples in a moment. Well, we're early fourth quarter as we welcome you back. Staples in Los Angeles. San Antonio is led by as many as 20. And now clinging to this 5-point lead. Another check around this personality-packed crowd. Hall of Famer Frank Robinson. Actor, comedian Brad Garrett. There is Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Pat Sajak. And Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
Now, Marv, if my little grandson Ryan were up in North Carolina, it's a little bit late right now, he would say, Marv, that's not Tobey Maguire, that's Peter Parker. That's Peter Parker to him. That's not Tobey Maguire.
Are you saying he's not staying up for the game?
I think it's past his bedtime, 11:20 on the East Coast.
It might affect the ratings. Well, Tim Duncan back to the line. He is 4 of 8. He has 26 points. And getting the treatment from the crowd. Duncan, the only Spur to score here in the fourth quarter. They went through that drought in the third. The Lakers getting back into it. They finished up the third quarter with that 20-7 run. This time Duncan hits both.
Well, you talked about Kobe, how brilliant he's been here in the second half, Mark. 23 of the Lakers' 28 points in this half. He's had his hand in with 15 points and 4 assists. All his assists to Gasol for easy source. So Kobe has taken over this game offensively for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Now Tony Parker, Fabricio Oberto back on the floor. Duncan and Vaughn will sit down.
Well, you see what Popovich is doing when he takes out Duncan. He comes back with Parker, knowing he has to have offense on the floor.
Bryant able to squeeze by Bowen. Kobe with 19 points, 17 of the 19 in the second half.
This has got to be Parker and Ginobili. With this group on the floor, Ginobili has got to come to life.
Ginobili getting the step, kicks it out. Parker over Gasol. Knocked away from Oberto. Good play by Odom. Bryant going at Bowen. 21 for Bryant. The Lakers are with it 3.
How good is Kobe Bryant? I mean, to be able to first half just sort of go through the game and turn the switch like this, what an amazing second half.
Parker's pass deflected. Bowen, yes, that's a 3 for Bruce Bowen.
You can put a piece of tape over there in that corner. He loves those cornered threes.
Lamar Odom has been quiet at the offensive end. Bryant off the spin. Parker. Finley for 3. And back comes Fisher. A 6-point San Antonio lead. Odom had the step, and then his foul. He was hit by Finley.
This is the guy they need to get going. He was such a vital part of that win in Utah, and they need to get him playing well. He's really struggled. I think he's one of the guys who's lost a little bit of his edge. Lamar Odom during that little 4-day layoff, but this guy has played so well for them, especially since he slid down to that number 3 scorer behind Gasol and Kobe Bryant.
In the postseason, Odom averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds, numbers slightly up from his season average. Major League Baseball action returns to TBS this Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Ichiro of the Seattle Mariners taking on Derek Jeter and the Yankees. Jeter back in the lineup after being hit by a pitch last night, suffering that bruised hand. Yankees continue to struggle. They have lost 4 in a row. Chip Caray, Run Darling will have it for you. That's Sunday on TBS, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Just under 7 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Game 1 of the best of 7 Western Conference Final. Game 2 here Friday night here in Los Angeles. And we'll have it for you. We'll have the entire series exclusively on TNT. Udoka with the step. Back comes Odom off the turnover. Fisher. He has not been able to hit the outside shot.
Yeah, you can see he just does not have that touch that he had in Utah. He was 16 of 27 from the line. From that 3-point line in that series. He's been brilliant.
Only 1 of 8 tonight. Here's the double on Duncan. Parker is open for 3. Duncan corrals the rebound.
See, Bowen does not like to shoot threes up there. He likes to get down to that corner. That was a wide open shot that he passed on. He just does not like that spot.
Udoka. And a foul. Loose ball foul on Duncan. Trying to knock the ball away from Gasol.
I thought Tim Duncan had a wide open jump shot from the foul line. He passed on it to throw it back to Udoka. I thought Duncan had a much better shot than what Udoka did. Look at Duncan here. And he had a look at it. He passed up to Udoka, who takes a contested shot.
And Kobe Bryant, now 9 of 18 from the field, 21 points, 19 of his 21. Come here in the second half with the Lakers coming back from that 20-point deficit. Good job by Bowen. Bryant forces the shot. And it's played by Parker.
That was exactly what Bruce Bowen wanted to do on that play. Shoot that tough fadeaway jump shot that's going to be a foul on Derek Fisher, his 4th. But the patience, Mark, that you have to have, all these fakes that Kobe gets you, he does a wonderful job. That getting you up in the air, getting the foul. Bowen that time didn't bite on any of them and forced a very difficult shot.
Just under 5.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Ginobili, played by Vujacic. Duncan right back. Parker. Shot clock to 4. Here's Parker. And the ball back to the Lakers.
Now, Tony Parker very upset because the Spurs did a nice job of moving the basketball. He fumbled the pass, was taken off the shot, and then had to take a difficult one. But, Marv, you talked about the efficiency in the first half of San Antonio. 12 assists, 2 turnovers. In this half, 4 assists and 7 turnovers. The Lakers have turned it up defensively.
Bryant using the pick, try to get it to Gasol on a pick and roll, and a foul is called. Foul on Bowen, that's 4 on Bowen, 13 foul on the Spurs.
The last thing, if you're San Antonio, you don't want to get into penalty with these fouls. It makes it impossible to try to guard Kobe Bryant when you have no fouls to give.
Once again, Gasol set the pick. Vujacic for 3. Good box out by Duncan. Ginobili trying to shake off Vujacic. Intercepted by Fisher. Here comes Fisher. He is fouled by Parker.
Manu Ginobili's had a real tough game tonight, Marv. He's made some critical turnovers. He's struggling from the floor, 3 of 11. We've seen 2 or 3 plays where he's driven and thrown the ball across court. There's no place to go with this pass at all, and Fisher picks it off. And all those plays lead to either layups or free throws.
So Derek Fisher to the line for the first time. NASCAR on TNT returns Sunday, June 8th with Sprint Cup Racing live from Pocono. Join us for NASCAR live on TNT.
Well, Udoka leaving now, Finley coming in. I think that Greg Popovich is hoping that Finley can knock down a long jump shot. He had 2 big ones in that series you and Reggie did the other night in Game 7. He'd gone 3 games without making a 3 and knocked down 2 big ones in that third quarter.
He had gone 1 for 6 back-to-back prior to Game 7. It is down to a 2-point lead, the closest this game has been since midway through the second quarter. As we come up on 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Ginobili rejected by Gasol.
They've done a great job tonight of keeping Ginobili out of the paint. All of his shots contested. A big guy coming over, either altering it or blocking it. You actually had Gasol and Odom on that play.
Duncan tried to go glass. Gasol was picked off and thought he was fouled. Here comes Odom. Odom to the rim. And it's picked up by Finley. Finley looking for help. They try to trap him. San Antonio leading by just 2. Duncan. Played well by Gasol. And the ball back to the Spurs as Odom lost his balance.
You can see that time as they turned Duncan into the lane. Odom came over to help on the double team, so they're not giving Duncan those free pass to the basket. Tony Parker has been quiet in this second half. So if you wonder why the Lakers coming back, Parker and Duncan now struggling to score after huge first halves.
Finley with space fires for 3. Rebounded by Vujacic. Lakers down by 2. With just under 3.5 left in the fourth. Odom backs his way in and scores. The game is tied at 81.
You cannot play Lamar Odom with Michael Finley. He's too small. The Lakers recognize that. Odom finally gets one to go. He's now 3 of 11 on the night.
Standing ovation here at Staples for the Lakers. A 10-3-1 by the Lakers. Time for the U.S. Army's strong performance of the night.
Well, it's been Tim Duncan here who has been terrific in this ball game. We've seen him step out on the floor, make jump shots at the patented shot off the glass, the beautiful pass to Alberto, the defensive rebound and the outlet pass, the quick post up, the 3-point play opportunity against Turioff. And he really's been the guy in this second half. The trios that we talked about that were so good in the first half, it was Duncan and Parker. In the second half, 6 for Parker, 3 for Ginobili, 12 for Duncan. And look how Kobe and Gasol especially have come to life. It's a 20-point turnaround since the 5:50 mark of the third period.
First time they're tied since it was 33 apiece. Back in the second quarter, Parker draws the double. Here comes Bryant. Lakers with a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight. Bryant. And a foul is called. That is number 5 on Bowen.
Well, the Lakers have the chance to take the lead, Mark, but I'm going to take you back. 65-45, San Antonio winning. Since that point in time, 5 of 23 from the floor with 7 turnovers. Everybody talked about them going through stretches where they can't score.
Well, we have seen the drought kick in tonight for San Antonio. The Lakers with the lead for the first time. They continue to chant. The NBA's most valuable player got off to the slow start, only 2 points at the half. Now 23 for the game. 21 of his 23 in the second half. The Lakers have come back from a 20-point deficit. We're down to 2.5 to play in the fourth. Udoka for 3 way off.
Where the Lakers are contesting everything right now. Their defense has totally turned this ball game around.
Bryant, yes.
This guy's unbelievable. Unreal second half what this guy's done for his team.
85-81, Lakers. Udoka. 2 shots way off by Udoka. And that cost the Spurs. Bryant behind the back. Vujacic gives it right back. Kobe directing traffic. Gasol with the mismatch. Now Duncan back over. Fisher with a step back. And the ball back to San Antonio.
This is where the Spurs really miss Manu Ginobili. With him not playing well tonight, normally they put the ball in his hands and let him create an opportunity. He's 3 of 12 tonight to struggle with turnovers. And you see the Spurs the last 16-plus minutes, now 5 of 25, 7 turnovers. They've been outscored 40-16. Can Ginobili find a field goal?
Ginobili blocked by Fisher. And that puts the Lakers over the limit. So Derek Fisher picks up his 5th. And Manu Ginobili at the line for the first time tonight.
Well, you know, just the energy has so picked up for the Lakers. And I think that Phil made a real strategic move early in that third quarter when he went to Vujacic and Farmar. He put him out there with Kobe. And then what ended up happening is Kobe normally rests at the end of the third period. Phil has let him play the entire game. A strategic move, but still, with all that said, it's a one-possession game here. The Lakers, if they don't score and the Spurs get a 3, they're right back in the lead. So a lot of time and a lot of things can happen.
Tough pass for Gasol to handle, but came up with it. Bryant makes the turn, gives it back to Odom. And Duncan able to reach for it. Ball's knocked out of his hand and deflected out of bounds. Danny Crawford will confer. At first he said last touch by Duncan. And now Dan Crawford talks it over with Bob Delaney.
I think that ball was knocked out by one of the Lakers. Either that or Duncan got fouled. I don't know. Let's watch here on this play, Marv. Duncan goes up. Looks like Gasol knocked that ball loose from behind. I don't know if it went off Duncan after he hit it, but it looked like Gasol hit that ball.
And Greg Popovich wants to pull Tim Duncan aside. Does not want Tim to pick up a technical, but it will be Laker ball, and a 20-second timeout has been taken.
I think Greg Popovich said he got fouled on the play. So break here for the Los Angeles Lakers. See if they can take advantage.
We're down to 1:04 left in this fourth quarter. Lakers up by 2, and they have the ball. Let's revisit tonight's Collins Keys, presented by Heineken. You ran this down right at the start of the telecast.
Well, we talked about the tempo. It's in a great tempo for San Antonio until he went with that dry spell here in the second half. The Kobe blueprint, terrific for the first half, and then he's taken over in the second half here. Keep the Spurs guards out of the lane. Parker and Ginobili only 10 points in the paint. We talked about the bench advantage. Tonight it's been the Lakers +8. Can they hold on? What a dramatic win this would be for the Lakers, Mark. It looked like they were dead in the water at the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. This would be a huge win for them.
In particular, in that San Antonio has the score and the tempo basically where they wanted it.
Exactly. You feel like if the game was under 100, this would be a Spurs win. Now, still, they can pull this game out a lot of time.
With the timeouts remaining, San Antonio with 2 left. Gasol off the fake. Try to stuff it. A lot of contact, but no foul. And the Lakers upset that Ginobili was not called for the foul on a push.
This is where, if you're the Lakers, you don't want to give up a 3. Here is Duncan. Gasol misses the driving left-hand layup. The ball knocked out of bounds. Those are tough. Those are 50-50 plays. But if you're the Lakers, Marv, you don't want to give up a 3. A 2 ties you, but you don't want to help and give up a 3.
Just under a minute left in the fourth. The Lakers 85, the Spurs 83. Duncan comes out to set the high screen. Duncan. The tip by Duncan. What a follow by Tim Duncan, and the game is tied at 85.
Well, if I'm the Spurs, at all costs, I get this ball out of Kobe Bryant's hands. Make somebody else beat me on this play.
30 points, 18 rebounds for Duncan.
They're going to trap this pick and roll here to Marvin, try to make him give the ball up.
Bryant freeing himself up. Lakers take a 2-point lead.
See, he strung out the double team and then took the ball right where he wanted it. That's just a brilliant play.
No timeout now. The timeout is called as Parker brought to the front court with 20 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter, and the Lakers up by 2.
Well, Tim Duncan takes this shot. I think that Gasol got a little piece of it, and then the follow-up, and Greg Popovich said, we're going to trap it and get it out of his hands, and Kobe said, I'm not giving it up. I'm taking a little jumper to give us a lead.
All right, Doug, 20 seconds remaining. Lakers up by 2 if you're Greg Popovich. And if you have what appears to be a tired team playing on the road, do you go for the tie? Do you go for the win? Do you look for a 3?
Well, you know what I do is I try to get one of those guards driving to the basket and hope a Laker makes a mistake and you kick out and you get a good 3, because Robert Horry's coming in the game right now, and you know that they better not leave this guy. Although he has really not played hardly at all tonight, not taking a shot, this is a guy who loves these kind of moments.
As the Lakers and their fans are well aware, because he also did it for the Lakers. Horry will inbound. San Antonio down by 2. Ginobili for 3. Battle for the rebound. Vujacic is on it. And a foul with 7 3/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
We see him go for the 3 to try to take the lead here. Ginobili spots up, gets a good look at it, but he's been off all night long. Robert Horry tries to pull out the loose ball. 3 bodies on the floor, loose ball foul, and Vujacic with a chance here to give the Lakers, would it be their biggest lead of the night at 4 points?
Yes. Finley on the foul. Vujacic to the line for the first time tonight. 84% free throw shooter during the regular season. That's the big one. The Lakers up by 3. Spurs do have a 20-second timeout remaining. Both teams over the foul limit. Gasol providing a service, stretching out the netting. So Sasha Vujacic calmly knocks down the 2 free throws.
Marv, I said in the third quarter when it was a 20-point game, if the Lakers were going to do it, they had to do it on the defensive end. They had to start getting some stops. And their defense picked up, and again, I give Phil Jackson a lot of credit. He went to the young guys with energy. To Farmar and to Vujacic, he moved Kobe down at the small forward position, and that team made a run that got him back in the game and put him in a position to win this game here tonight.
Down to 7 3/10 seconds remaining. The Lakers now have a 4-point lead. Well, the NBA on TNT continues. Coming up next, the award-winning Inside the NBA will have live post-game reaction and analysis. Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Reggie will have it for you. Then on Friday, Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals between the Spurs and Lakers, covered starting 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Udoka will inbound. They need a quick bucket here. Ginobili for Finley. Shoots for 3. And that will do it. As Odom fires it down court, the Los Angeles Lakers have come back from a 20-point deficit led by Kobe Bryant in the second half, and they've defeated the San Antonio Spurs here in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, 89-85.
Remember we talked to Phil before the game. He said, I wonder if we're going to be tenacious enough to do what we have to do and win. Well, you know what, Marv? The question was answered. They were very tenacious tonight. And what a brilliant second half by Kobe Bryant.
Bryant finishes with 27, 25 of the 27 coming in the second half. The stat sheet also shows 9 assists and 5 rebounds. Bryant lifting this team and leading the Lakers to the victory.